Very good morning students. Hello and welcome back for 6th session of chapter 1 Nutrition in Plants class 7. In today's session we will do two activities. Activity 1 to test the presence of starch in a leaf. To test the presence of starch in a leaf, and second to show that sunlight is essential for photosynthesis. But before I begin with activities, there is a question for you from a very first slide. The question is, what are autotrophs? Put your answer in comment box. Now let's begin with the activity number 1. To test the presence of starch in a leaf.
You know that the leaves of plants produce glucose through photosynthesis, and this extra glucose is then converted into starch. Here in this activity, we will test the presence of starch in a green leaf. For that we need a leaf, boiling water, alcohol, iodine, test tube and a spirit lamp. So let's begin with an activity. Take a green leaf from a plant and place the leaf in a boiling water. This is done to soften the leaf and kill its cells so that iodine can show reaction. Now put the leaf in a test tube containing alcohol. Next, keep the test tube in the boiling water. This is done to decolorize the leaf so that we can easily notice the change in color of a leaf with iodine. Now, place a leaf in a petri dish and pour few drops of iodine solution over it and notice the change in color. The color of leaf turns blue-black, showing the presence of starch in a green leaf because starch shows blue-black with iodine.
Now let's begin with the second activity, that is to show sunlight is very essential for the process of photosynthesis.
Our next activity is to show sunlight is needed for photosynthesis and the requirements are a potted plant, petri dish, test tube, beaker, Bunsen burner, forceps, dropper, alcohol, iodine, water and black paper strips. So let's begin with procedure. Take a potted plant and keep the plant in a dark room for about 72 hours so that all its starch get used up. Now, select a leaf of a plant and cover it with a strip of black paper. Next, place a plant in a sunlight for few hours. Pluck the covered leaf and remove black paper from it. Now put a leaf in a beaker containing alcohol. Place this beaker in a boiling water. This is again done to decolorize the leaf, as alcohol decolorizes the leaf and we can easily notice the change in color of a leaf with iodine. Now, put this leaf in a petri dish and put few drops of iodine solution over it and observe the change in color. We will observe that the covered portion of leaf does not change with iodine, whereas the uncovered portion turns blue-black with iodine. Hence, we can conclude that the covered portion of leaf did not receive sunlight and hence no photosynthesis occurred and no starch was formed and hence no change in color with iodine. From this experiment, we can conclude that sunlight is essential for photosynthesis.
Observe both the activities, both the experiments very carefully, and you should be answerable to these three questions. These questions are your home assignment. Question number 1. Iodine with starch gives which color? Question number 2. Which chemical is used to test the presence of starch in a leaf? Question number 3. Why we boil leaf in alcohol for the experiment? In both the experiments, we have put leaf in alcohol and boiled it in a boiling water. So why we are using that alcohol? These three questions you have to do in your home assignment.